One thing every successful individual, leader, and entrepreneur have in common is a consistent morning routine. Having a simple, easy to implement routine enables you to start your day with a sense of purpose, accomplishment, clarity, and direction. For this reason, I have prepared for you a free guide with an easy to follow 5 minutes morning routine and a tracking template where you can document your progress day by day. I've been receiving messages from some of you already telling me how this habit has transformed your days for the better. Download this 5 minutes morning routine right now by clicking the link on my show notes so you can start your day on purpose. Welcome to the With Clarity and Purpose podcast with your host, Yanet Borrego. Each week, I bring you an inspiring person or message to empower you to live life on your terms so you can be who you want to be, do what you are meant to do, and have the life you deserve to have. We will provide you with practical and cutting-edge approaches to continue getting clarity and direction on your path, mastering your mindset, and gaining confidence to tap into your inner wisdom so you can live on purpose. Welcome to another episode of With Clarity and Purpose. And even before starting the episode, I want to tell you how grateful I am that you're tuning into this episode, that you're dedicating time to learn about yourself and how to continuously grow in this purpose-driven journey. I know time is our most precious resource, so the fact that you're investing time to tune into this podcast, it makes me incredibly grateful. If this is something that may help someone else, please share it with your friends, your family, whoever needs to listen at this message today. Today's episode is one that I'm extremely excited for because it's one that I've been planning in the back of my mind for months and months. I get the question a lot around what is coaching and how do I know if I need a coach? Not only that, I get asked a lot, the difference between coaching and mentorship, coaching and therapy. Today's episode is all about what is coaching and how do you know if you need a coach. I have episodes following this one that it's all about the differences between coaching and therapy and coaching and mentorship. I may talk a little bit high level about those differences, but there are particular episodes that it's all about comparing the two type of services and modalities. Now, coaching is a term that gets thrown around a lot. It's a self-regulated industry. And it is so important that you get educated, my friend. I mean, I've had coaches, I have coaches now, I have mentors. And for me, it's always so important to do the research before investing in someone or hiring someone. Of course, in the ideal world, I would love for you to hire me if you need a coach, as long as it's aligned with what I do, of course. And at the same time, I understand that sometimes you like to benchmark and you like to educate yourself. So this episode today is highly educational. So you inform yourself of what coaching is, what is the whole purpose, because the reality is there are coaches that they call themselves coaches and they are not coaches, they are mentors, or they are not coaches, they are consultants, right? So I want to dig deeper into what coach is, when it started, how it's going in terms of the industry, and how do you know if you need a coach? And of course, I'm going to talk a little bit also about my background in coaching, the tools I'm certified in, the companies I've done my certification through, etc. So as I tell the story, of course, I'm going to talk a little bit about my coaching program. And if that's something that interests you, you can always go to the show notes below and schedule a free clarity call. It is a 30-minute call where I help you pinpoint exactly the challenges you're facing, how we can move forward, how you can solve them, and what do you need. I've had clarity sessions where I've told people, hey, you don't need a coach, you need a mentor, So not because you schedule a clarity call, it necessarily means that you need a coach, right? I'm here to help you, and I truly serve people and everyone who schedule calls with me from the heart. And I'm someone that lives with integrity and honesty, and I believe that when I do that, things come back, right? Even stronger or better. So if you need help, my friend, I'm here to help you. You can schedule a free clarity call below. Now, as I mentioned, coach is a term that gets thrown around. If you look in social media, if you look everywhere else, there are so many coaches. And of course, in a way, this leads to overwhelm if you are not well educated in this industry, or even in what a coach means, or how do you know if you need one. So as I mentioned, this episode is all about that. Now, the coaching industry for the first time emerged in the 1980s, and this is a coaching industry related to personal development, peak performance, leadership, which is the industry that I'm in, of course. Before that, coach was used, of course, for the terms related to sports, right? That's how we knew before what a coach was. Now, coaching to personal development was started in the 1980s, and then in the 1990s, it was really when it started getting traction and momentum. Now, saying that, as you can imagine, this is a fairly new industry. And because it's fairly new, it's one that people are not well informed about. So I'm here to provide you all the knowledge that you need, my friends, so you can move on purpose. As you know, this industry has been growing exponentially. Individuals nowadays, they have coaches. Of course, as a coach, I've had coaches, and I have now. Corporations have coaches, and this industry is here to stay because the reality is that people are seeing results. And not only that, the role of a coach is one that I truly recommend you to have as long as you define and you determine that you need it. In my team, I have coaches, I have mentors, of course, people that I reach out to advise. It is so important that you decide to invest in yourself and form a team around you of people that really are there to be fully invested in your growth and in your direction. And that's really what a coach is about. But of course, I'm going to give you more details around that. Now, my first encounter to coaching was back in 2015 when I actually got certified as a John Maxwell team coach, speaker, and trainer. I remember I was in the certification event from the John Maxwell team. And of course, I was getting to learn what coaching was. And of all they had coaching, speaking, training. Out of all of those, I felt the most connected with coaching because I remember Christian Simpson, which was part of the John Maxwell team. He was the director of the coaching program. He was explaining what coaching was about. And he was saying that coaching is not about telling you what to think, but rather teaching you how to think. Coaching is all about directing you and guiding you to access the answers that you have within you already, but sometimes you don't know how to get there because you have limiting beliefs, you have maybe subconscious patterns where you're boycotting yourself. So a good coach, is really like a GPS system that it helps you define your direction with the resources and the knowledge you have already within yourself, and then it helps you move towards that direction. Coaching, compared to therapy, for example, is very action focused and it's very forward looking. Coaching is all about helping you define your goals and helping you get there, my friend, with momentum, with accountability, with integrity. It's all about those results that you want to get and that desired outcome that you have been wanting to get, maybe for years, for months. And if you haven't seen the results in the past that you want to see, a coach can help you get there. I also have clients that they're like, Yanet, I'm meant for more. I'm meant for more. I don't know what exactly, but I want you to help me find what, right? Like gaining clarity on your purpose. That's even one of my digital courses. And that's something that I help my one-on-one coaching clients with. So yeah, 2015, he was explaining that in stage. And I'm like, what? Like I get to help people to tap into their inner wisdom, which is something they have already. Because here's the thing. Society have hypnotized us that we need to operate from a place of lack. Society has hypnotized us that to believe that there is something missing within ourselves, my friend. But here's the thing, you're whole already. And a coach and coaching believes that. As a coach, I believe you have all the resources you need to succeed. Sometimes you just don't know how to get to those answers. Sometimes you just don't know how to get to those resources. And as a coach, I'm your guide to help you get there. And of course, I have a toolbox of skills, techniques, and tools of things I've been certified on that I'm going to give you a quick high-level overview, but there is so much more to it. And I have all those tools to help you get there, at the subconscious level. Because change is subconscious, it's not conscious. That's why sometimes you set a goal and you say, I want to do this. And maybe your unconscious programming doesn't support you in executing that goal. And then you get to that place and you're like, wait, why I was not able to execute my goal, right? For a while after I got certified as a coach and I was working in corporate, I had this limiting belief that I was not enough. And I remember even introducing myself as a coach and I would be insecure. I would be like, man, why am I dreaming like I'll be a full-time coach one day? That doesn't even sound realistic. So all this unconscious programming of the limiting beliefs I was experiencing led me at that time, back in 2015, 2016, to not do coaching on the side as a business. Yes, I was certified, but I was not executing it. I was learning and getting certified in a million things, but I hadn't started my business yet, right? Because even though that was the goal that I wanted to achieve, that was the result I wanted to achieve consciously, my subconscious programming was not supporting me in getting there because I had all those limiting beliefs I had to release. Thankfully, I've worked with coaches, mentors. I've learned a lot of techniques that I use in myself and my clients, of course. So that was back in 2015 where I got certified for the first time and I really got exposed for the first time to this profession of coaching. And I just fell in love because, as I mentioned, coaching is about helping you discover your own potential and helping you get there. Helping you define that North Star that is going to guide you in your life, in your career, whatever area you're working on, and help you get there. Just walking the path. Now, later on 2021, I also did another certification, which I finished last year of January. It was a 1-year certification, super intense, with clients, with homework. It was a lot of time invested in that. And it was an integrative coaching certification. Integrative coaching certification. Integrative means that it's more of a holistic approach. It means that, for example, in my coaching practice, I just don't see the individual as the mental and emotional body. Instead, I work on harmonizing the spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical bodies of my client, right? So I see them as a whole, as I mentioned, not as a part of the whole, right? And for me, that's so important because, as I mentioned, sometimes we operate from a place of lack or there is something missing. And when you realize you're whole already, you realize that you can tap into all the resources you need just inside yourself. I say this a lot, and I'm going to repeat a couple of times, because if there is one key takeaway you have from this episode, I want you to take this. You're whole already, my friend. And again, a coach helps you realize that and dig into those answers you're trying to find externally, because the answers are internally. Coaching is also an inside out process, not outside in. For example, mentorship is an outside in process, because mentorship is a person that have gone through the path and it's telling you exactly what to do based on what they did. Now, it may work for you or it may not, right? That's something you decide based on the information you receive and on the experimentation you start in your journey. Coaching is an inside out process. It helps you to tap into your own wisdom, resources, potential in order to define the direction for yourself. For example, when I decided to transition from corporate to entrepreneurship, I didn't know anyone around me. I definitely didn't have a mentor that had done that before, because only few people do it voluntarily, let's be honest. And with the skills I have, and of course working with my coaches, which are amazing, I had to tap into that direction I knew was the right direction for myself. And by the way, no one else could have known that except myself. But sometimes we want the answers to come from outside. Why? Because we have been programmed to be like that since we were kids, right? We had our parents telling us what to do. We had our teachers telling us what to do. We had the educational system telling us what to believe. And now when we get to adulthood, or even before, you realize that honestly, you gotta find those answers for yourself, and that you are the designer of your own life. And that's when coaching comes into place, because again, it's helping you tap into that potential, because whenever everything else goes away around you, at least you have the tools and the skills and the resources to continue working on your own path. So as I mentioned, a good coach, an amazing coach, teaches you how to think based on who you are as a person, because every single person is unique, When you look at my coaching notes for each one of my coaching clients, they're all different. They need different tools. They need different techniques. Of course, I see similarities based on like the limiting beliefs they face, and similarities with me, of course, because I'm a human being, as you know. So yeah, that's what coaching is overall. Now, what I was telling is like later on 2021, which was January of last year, I also did my integrative coaching certification through the American Association of Integrative Psychology. And something that I've been studying since 2013, thanks to my uncle who introduced me to neuro-linguistic programming, it's that NLP, which is the same as neuro-linguistic programming. Now, NLP, it's all about the language of the mind, how you can create change in your mind that are sustainable. Because NLP, or neuro-linguistic programming, is like understanding the programming of your mind, the software of your mind, so you can reprogram it to achieve your desired outcomes. And that was really something that, as a coach, I wanted to have the tools to help my clients understand themselves. Because let's be honest, the mind can be your best friend and can be your biggest obstacle at times, or many times. So you understanding how you behave based on your mind, on your beliefs, for me, as a coach, that was really important to have as a tool to help my clients. So I'm certified as an NLP practitioner, NLP master practitioner, trainer of NLP and hypnosis. So hypnosis is another tool that I use to access the unconscious programming of my clients so they can achieve their desired results. Hypnosis, NLP, and of course, I've been certified in all of that. Something that I also use as a tool is energy healing and astrology. I truly believe we are spiritual beings living in physical bodies. So everything around you is energy, right? Even this even this chair that I'm sitting in, when you look at it, you see something solid. But if you look at it at a molecular level, it's mainly space. It's mainly energy, right? So I believe that everything around us is energy. And that's why I also wanted to get trained and certified on several energy healing modalities, such as Huna, which is the native ancient Hawaiian way of being and seeing energy. And I also got certified as a pranic healing practitioner, which is healing with light. Honestly, when you see all the energy healing modalities, they have a lot of commonalities. So I just enjoy having all these tools to work with my clients. And as I said, ideally, if you're looking for a coach, you decide to work with me. And if you want to benchmark, right, different coaches, it's just so important that you understand what are they certified on, what are their specialties, what are the kind of, I don't know, how are they going to help you? For me, that's super important. And I strive to continuously learn and continuously educate myself because that's the way I can help my clients. And that's also the way I can lead with integrity. Because if I don't help myself, if I don't keep my mind in check, if I don't keep my spiritual, physical, mental, and emotional bodies in alignment, how can I help my clients? I think as a coach, and this is sometimes a little bit hard when you don't know the person personally or maybe from a friend or a referral. As a coach and in everything else, to be honest, it is so important to lead with integrity, right? To be able to tell your clients, hey, this is what we are going to work on. And of course, you need to take action after the call, etc. And for you to be able to take that action you're telling your clients to take. Energetically, it's so important in terms of having that integrity and everything else, right? I cannot tell my clients to take action when I'm not taking action. So the cool thing about my coaching clients is that they're also a mirror to myself. So it's a beautiful profession. I truly love it. Now, some people think of coaches like life coaches, and I don't introduce myself as a life coach because it's a very vague term. What does a life coach do? I mean, are they gonna help you plan your life? Like, what is that, right? I like to call myself a mindset and clarity coach, and the areas that the areas that I've helped most of my clients with are the areas of career, which again is something that I'm super passionate about, for you to have a career or a business that you truly believe in, because that's where you're gonna achieve your highest potential. When you do something that you're aligned with, that you love, that you're willing to show up. So career is definitely one of them. The second one is romantic relationships. I've helped, I would say, like, I don't know, 50% of my clients in romantic relationships too, which is an area I'm deeply passionate about. And the third one is personal development. So overall, the mental and emotional state, self-regulation, and everything else, right? So career, personal development, and romantic relationships. Of course, there are coaches that are mainly around the mindset of physical health. There are different coaches with different niches. Mine are the things that I'm passionate about, which, by the way, are the things that in a way I've also gone through, which of course coaching is not mentorship, but I also have that view that I've gone through the path also. So yeah, overall, having a coach really is like having a mirror and having a GPS system. It's the person that honestly, the only agenda of a great coach, is your growth and helping you achieve your goals and your potential. So it's a really special relationship having this person that serves you as your mirror, that points at you your blind spots, that, by the way, all of us have blind spots. So having that person that has your best interest at heart because you have invested in this person, I mean, honestly, that's the only relationship I can think that it's like goal driven, future forward looking, that the only agenda of the coach is your growth and everything you want to accomplish. Like the main goal of the coach is increasing the manifestation of your potential. Someone who holds a mirror in a safe, nurturing, and non-judgmental environment. It's so important to mention that because a coach is a neutral party. A coach is not looking at your existing performance, it's looking at your potential, and it's helping you get there. Because whatever you think you are right now, you're way more than that. And the coach is looking at that way more than that, at that potential. I have one of my coaching clients, and we were coaching, I don't know, maybe like 2 months ago, 3 months ago. And she was telling me, Janet, you don't get tired of listening at people talk about their challenges and problems, because the first stage of my program, even before we start coaching, is what I call a breakthrough session, which is a very in-depth session, just understanding the client's limiting beliefs, the challenges they face, and based on their language and the training I've received, I get to see from a neutral perspective, what are they really struggling with at a deeper level, right? And we were doing the breakthrough session, and she was telling me, you don't get tired of listening at people's challenges and problems all the time. And I told her, not really, because you think you are your challenges and problems. I know you're not. I am buying into your potential. I know what your potential is, right? And as a coach, I help you see that, and I help you get there. Walk towards that direction so you can achieve who you are meant to be, so you can achieve the highest potential ever in this life that we are living here. So I think it's an important reminder, right? The coach doesn't believe that you're your behavior. The coach focuses on your potential and helps you get there. As a mindset and clarity coach, right, what I help my clients with is achieving clarity. Many of my clients, they don't have a clear direction of who they want to be, the things they want to accomplish in the future, and how to get there. So part of that clarity is defining that direction, finding their purpose in whatever area, if it's in the area of career, romantic relationships, mental and emotional health, and helping them walk there. Because action is a very important element in coaching. If there is no action, there is no transformation. As I mentioned, that's also one of the biggest differences between therapy and coaching. Coaching, there is a lot of action, homework, accountability, because the coach wants you to meet your goals, wants you to get there. And it's like your best accountability partner. The therapy is more of a listening modality. And again, both are valid. It just depends what you need. Now, I had this potential client that she was a coaching client too of mine before. But she said, hey, Janet, is there any way I can achieve my goals without taking action? And I'm like, no way, right? Because, I believe in manifestation. And yes, I totally believe in manifestation. But I believe in a manifestation where you are taking action. Because how can you manifest a way if you decide to stay where you are right now? Guess what? If you continue doing what you have been doing in the past or what you're doing now, you're going to get the same results you have been getting. So part of coaching is pushing the boundaries of what you believe you're capable of And just, my friend, finding that which drives you to a purpose-driven journey. That's what coaching is. It's your best accountability partner. Is the person that my only agenda are my clients' growth. My only agenda are my clients' goals. And that's something that I have to work with all the time, even when I'm coaching my clients. I have to remind myself, this is not my agenda. This is their agenda. And my goal as a coach is to help them get there, right? Again, it's teaching the clients how to think, not what to think. You're not telling them what to do, but rather you're teaching them techniques and skills and mindset shifts on how to access those answers that they have within them. And that's why I felt in love with coaching, because it was like, what? I mean, I have all the resources I need to succeed within me. And a coach is helping you get there. I mean, I don't know. To me, it's super exciting. And that's why I'm a full-time coach, right? Yeah, so I talked about neurolinguistic programming. That's definitely one of the biggest tools and skills and techniques that I use in my program. Hypnosis, energy healing I use to, astrology. And of course, everything I learned in the John Maxwell team has been super important. At the end of the day, the coach knows the right questions to ask. Because as I mentioned, you have the answers already. Sometimes we are just not asking the right questions. Cool. I'm here seeing. As I mentioned also, coaching is a do with process, not a do to. This is not a quick fix of something I'll do to you as a coach. This is something that we are doing together in your journey. And of course, you are taking action as you move forward. There are no quick fixes, my friend. Even like going to the gym, right? If you want to build muscle, you have to go to the gym consistently for months, probably. The same thing is with the mental and emotional space. But guess what? Because that's the journey, because you have to show up every day. That's why it's fulfilling. If it's something that you get like this, what is the fulfillment of that? What is the journey of that? What is the learning on that? That you don't get to learn anything if you go from 0 to 100 in a second, right? The beautiful part of the process is the journey and the results you see as you continue moving forward. I have this client, she was working on her career, and it's so, I just get amazed at the things that happen when people start investing in themselves. The magical things that happen when you start believing that you're enough and you start taking action and moving towards the right direction that makes sense for you. I have this client, of course, she wrote this in a testimonial, so I have her permission to share. Her name is Roberta. I love you, Berta. So her name is Roberta, and she was working on, like finding what a purpose-driven career was to her. She's very people-oriented. She has this loving, beautiful energy. And she had a great position in Houston, Texas, a position that she liked. And at the same time, she knew she was meant for more. Like literally maybe 5 or 4 months ago, she had been telling me that she wanted to go back to LA, but she didn't know how. And in the coaching program, we work through different aspects of your being in order for you to define your purpose-driven career, and we install it at the subconscious level. There are a lot of things that we do in order to help you get there. And I remember one day she comes to the call and she tells me, Janet, guess what? And I'm like, what? I got an amazing opportunity with the perfect balance of corporate and entrepreneurship, and the opportunity is in LA. And I was like, no way. I mean, everything she had been thinking of, right? She wanted a more entrepreneurial opportunity. She wanted to go back to LA, and she got even a way better position in a director position. And because she was taking action, because she was showing up every single week, she was able to manifest that. But again, it was because she was showing up. It was because she was taking action. It was a do with process. And that's what will help you get there. Also, believing in yourself and believing that you're worthy of investing in gaining clarity, in setting your direction, in getting the results you have been seeking. It's so important. A great coach sees themselves, like I see myself as a cultivator of human potential, right? That's what we see ourselves as. Like great coaches, they're like, I know your potential is huge. You may not see it, but we are going to help you get there. Allowing individuals to tap into the deeper resources within themselves, right? Now, how do you know? I've explained already when coaching started, what is coaching? I gave examples. I, of course, spoke about, like the certifications I've had, the education, like the tools that I use. How do you know if you need a coach? The first one is if you have goals and you're wanting results and you're not there yet, right? Literally a coach helps you get there to that forward-looking direction that helps you to get to your goals, to what you're seeking. Another one is when you're in search of clarity and direction. You know you're meant for more, maybe in the area of career, romantic relationships, or anything else. You are wanting that concrete direction that is going to help you get there, that is going to help you transform into your higher potential. Or maybe you're looking to perform better at your job, at your business, whatever that is. Performance is a big part of coaching because as a coach, I'm looking at my clients' limiting beliefs, their programming, their habits. I have techniques to help them do a lot of things at the unconscious level, right? So it's helping you improve that performance overall. Sometimes you may be limiting yourself and you may be running subconscious patterns that you're not aware of. And that's what a lot of times is preventing you from getting those results you're after. As I mentioned, coaches have coaches. I've had coaches myself and I'm a coach. I've coached several coaches too, right? So leaders have coaches, executives have coaches. The highest performing individuals, they have coaches because they recognize that we can always do better. We always have new goals, new results that we want to achieve. And sometimes we also need to learn the skills and the techniques to help us master our internal world, to help us master the mental and emotional bodies that we are dealing with every single day, that we are working through. Maybe you want to reach your highest potential and discover your purpose, right? To do something that is meaningful, impactful in this life. And as I mentioned, maybe you want to master your internal world. You are seeking growth. Maybe you're a person who is seeking growth and you want to discover who you're meant to be and what are the things you're meant to do. If you notice, this applies to your life, right? Maybe in the area of career, romantic relationship, maybe personal development. I want you to reach out to me, even to schedule a free clarity call. It's 30 minutes. There is no commitment. I'm just here to help you define what the best path forward is for you. And as I said at the beginning of this episode, I have your best interest at heart. If you need a mentor instead of a coach or a therapist, I'll let you know, right? Again, I think, to be honest, I think everyone at a point in their lives, they need to have coaches, because if you're trying to grow, right, from where you are right now, or if you're trying to get results that you haven't gotten, there is something that is preventing you from getting there. And a coach opens the door of what that might be for you, right? Again, it's like holding a mirror in a very non-judgmental, neutral way for you to, in a nurturing way, for you to continue transforming and growing into that person that you're meant to be and the things that you're meant to do. Now, as I mentioned, I'm going to include the link to schedule a clarity call in the notes below. If this is something that interests you, As I mentioned, every single person who is a high performer, who is growing, they hire coaches. I hire coach. A lot of my clients are in leadership positions, right? In corporate, some are creating their business. I have a little bit of everything, and they hire coaches because they want to go to the next level. I want you to do that for you. So take a second, grab the link below in the show notes and schedule a 3 minutes free clarity call. Experiment. Life is here to experiment. And again, that's why I've done a certification with the John Maxwell team. I've done one with NLP. I've done several with NLP. I've done several with energy healing, right? Because part of the transformation is experimenting and understanding what works best for you. I want the best for you. And as I mentioned, if there is one key takeaway I want you to take from the calls today, is that you are whole already. You have all the resources you need to succeed. And you are here, my friend, to find out who you are meant to be. You are here to reach your highest potential so you can live a happy, fulfilled life, a meaningful life. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If this was helpful, please share with your friends and family. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for listening at With Clarity and Purpose. I really hope you enjoyed today's episode. Sharing is caring. Please share with your friends and family so we can continue building an empowered community together. I'll see you next week.